Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maaike. Today we are doing my Shop My Stash for January of 2021. So today I'm going to be taking you through all of the stuff I was using in December, and my aim in December was to use stuff that I love, that I know I love, and I was trying to use up a couple of things as well. I didn't manage as well as I had expected, mainly because I fell ill halfway through the month. And so I didn't really wear a lot of makeup, and then I had Christmas break and I also didn't wear a lot of makeup because of that. So what we've got going on right now is a bit of a fail on my part, but I'm just going to roll some things back into January. And also in January I want to mainly focus on things I love. I'm not going to roll in too many products that I haven't reviewed before because I really wanted to focus on just going back to stuff that I know I love and adore. However, there are a few things that did run out as I was going through things. So I used up my L'Oreal mascara, which I've already replaced with the YSL Effet Fossil Volume Mascara, which I just have a mini of. So I'll use that. And I also used up my lip balm, which was the Fresh Rose lip balm. So I've been replacing that with the Plump and Blur Lip Treatment by Catrice, which so far has been lovely. It's not very balmy though. It doesn't really work on me as a lip balm, but it is a really great step to use. Like if you want to smooth your lips out before you put on lipstick, it works really well, I find. Other than that, I didn't use up the products I was hoping to use up. So let's start here. We have the Pretty Fresh Primer by Colourpop, and as you can see, it's on its last legs. It's only got a few uses left, so I know I will be using this up for sure in January. So I will be selecting a new primer to go into this drawer, but this is going to stay in for now. For base, I was using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea and the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. Now the IT Cosmetics one is almost gone, so I would like to use that one up, so that's going to stay. And this one is going to go back into my drawer. I actually only really use this foundation all month, and I didn't really go for the IT Cosmetics at all, and I know I love it in the winter time, so I'm definitely going to go for that. And I think I'll just keep this in here until it's gone, and then I think I'll select something else during the month, so I'll update you on that once it's done. But I'm afraid that if I put anything else in here right now, that I will forget to use this again like I did this month with the Tarte. For concealer, something very similar happened. I didn't really go for my Glossier and my Peri Para ink corrector, but I do love these. So these are going to stay. And the Zoeva Authentik Skin is also going to stay because this is nearly gone. I'm not sure if you can see, but right here on the side you can see sort of like the clearness of the bottle coming through. So that means that this concealer is also on its last legs. I think another week of use and then it's probably gone. So I will be replacing my concealer in today's video. And then for powder, I was doing so well with this little Hourglass Veil Mini, and yeah, it didn't happen because as you can see, it's down to here. So I have about a third left. By now, it's very difficult to get the product out, so I don't know how much use I will get out of it, because I've been trying to take out the little, like, insert. Let me see if this is very messy right now. But I've been trying to take out the insert with the H to try and get to the product more easily, but so far I've been unsuccessful, so I'm not sure yet how I'm going to manage that. But yeah, that's the powder I'm going to be keeping in here for sure. Bronzer, I had two in here, and I pretty much only used the Becca. I think I used the Maybelline like a few times towards the start of the month, but I mainly used the Becca one because I love it. But these are two of my all-time favorites, so I'm going to be replacing this with another favorite that I really want to go back to. So I'm going to take those out. Yeah, let's talk blush first. And then these are the blushes that were on my Shop My Stash. I mainly wore the Kiko blush, so this is 05 Marsala from the Shade Fusion line. Love it, but I will be replacing it. What's going to stay is the Balm Beach, because this blush only works on me if it's this kind of weather, because I have to be very pale for this, and that's what I'm currently dealing with. So this is going to stay. And then these two I'm also going to replace. So this is Cass's from the Blush Lighter, Cass's Sunburst from the Blush Lighter line by Essence. This was lovely, but I didn't reach for it at all because I was just so focused on my Kiko, and also Rapture by Urban Decay I didn't really use, but I will be rolling in another Urban Decay blush because it's the winter time. And then for highlighter, because I didn't use that much makeup, I didn't really get around to using these two. So again, I'm going to be a bit boring, but I'm going to keep the NARS in because I've been trying to get more use out of this for 3 months now, and I just really need to just get it done. And then the Cookie highlighter is really lovely by Benefit, but I'm going to roll in something else. And the reason why I didn't get round to these two is because I was trying to hit pan on the Fenty. I don't think you can see it. Let me see if you can hold it up closer. I think now you can see that there's like just a little bit of a pinprick right there, because I was trying to hit pan on this one. And that's why I just didn't get around to using these other ones. Again, I didn't wear makeup as much as I had planned to, so that's why I definitely didn't get around to hitting pan on this quickly enough that I could actually use those other products. I think that's it. So these things are going to stay, and I will be replacing everything else, which I will show you in a minute. And then for lipstick, I'm going to bring in other things for sure. Not because I didn't like these. I got use out of all of these lipsticks. I forgot which shades I originally selected, but I did a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick video in December, so I kind of was like, after that video, like, oh, but which ones did I actually put in my Shop My Stash? I forgot, but I ended up pulling Red Carpet Red for a video, so that's their like standard red. So I decided to put that in because I wanted to wear it with a look. And then I put Love Liberty in here, I thought. That's a really nice berry shade. Definitely got some more use out of Bond Girl too. And then in one of the final videos that went live, where you saw me wearing makeup, I was wearing this lipstick. This is Les Swatches Cassis. Really nice magenta. Rhubarb by Bite, I definitely did use a few times at the start of the month. And then my MAC lipsticks, so this is Captive, which again I only wore like once, and I wore Flat Out Fabulous like once as well in a video. But yeah, I will be putting different lipsticks in here for sure. I already updated you on mascaras. Brow stuff is still going strong, but I think the end may be near for my Etude House brow pencil. I only have a little bit left, so I will be selecting a different brow pencil to go in here. It doesn't twist back anymore if I twist it up all the way. So yeah, that brow product is finally on its way out. So happy about that. Another thing on its way out is the Lorac Backstage eyeshadow primer. Again, it's very difficult to get product out of this at this point, so I think about a week's use left. So I will be selecting a different eye primer. I used up my the Body Shop eyeshadow that I always keep in here, so I've got something new to put in. And then for setting spray, I think I can select something new, but I'm not entirely sure. It's about halfway gone, this Catrice Shake, Fix and Glow spray, so that's going strong. And what I noticed the other day is that my Fix Plus is super low, so I think I just need to try and soldier on with wetting eyeshadow again and getting more shimmer impact that way to really use this up, because I think it will be a nice one to use up. And then just buy a mini, because this full size I bought years ago and I don't use it enough to warrant another full size. So that's everything that was in here. I of course also need to update you on my eyeshadow. For Christmas, I go to a Charlotte Tilbury quad every single year. This year I chose to wear Vintage Vamp. So this is what I wore to Christmas dinner with my family. I love these. But I really only bust them out in like the Christmas season, you could say. And of course, this year with lockdown going on, we just didn't have that much going on. Then I used the Persona Identity palette, and ooh boy, I kind of fell in love with this. I've heard Kelly Gooch raving about this for years, and she's completely right. I didn't agree with her on the Sigma Enchanted, but I do agree with her on the Persona Cosmetics, especially this shade here, Cold Bombshell. We all know how I feel about taupes, so you knew I was going to love that shade, but also Seductive, that's really nice. And apparently this eyeshadow palette is formulated to make brown eyes pop. That's what I've heard, and it definitely does, because you do get these like plummy undertones. It's got enough depth, but it's not too deep and dark and sultry. Like, it can be very neutral, it can be more warm toned, it can be more neutral / cool toned. It just has a lot going for it. So I was very happy with this, and this is now just a really good neutral palette to have. Something I didn't like as much was the Beauty Bay Pastels palette. Oh boy, I didn't have a good time with this. I put this as an honorable mention in my most disappointing products of 2020. This will be coming up in a 10 palette review later this month, as will the Persona, as well as the Glamlight Cake palette that I will be showing you in a minute, because I have about 10 palettes that I've used again, so that video will be coming later this month, and I will show you the looks that I did with this. What happened to me with this palette is that I had to layer these on so thickly to really make them stand out. Like, I had no issues applying these. People have been saying, but you need to apply pastels over a white base. With this, I felt it wasn't necessary for them to initially show up. It's just that these look a lot more vibrant in the pan than they do once they go on to the eye a little bit, I feel. They kind of blend out quite, like, they muddy together a little bit too. So I really felt that if I wanted this yellow to look yellow, and not like something in between a green and a yellow, I really had to go in with some finger action and apply it that way. But what then happened, so I wasn't too fussed with how it applied. It looked really pretty when I first applied it. But like an hour or 2 hours into wearing this, it just creased. It was such a mess. In fact, some of these shades just fell off my eyes. And I already double prime my lids, people. I double prime. I go in with a regular eyeshadow primer to make shadows stick, and then I use an eyeshadow base that will cancel out my natural lid color. I never have issues with eyeshadows creasing or staying on my eyes because of that, but with this, I don't know what happened. It just crumbled off of my face. You will see the looks when we do the 10 palette review. The Cake palette by Glamlight. I keep it in its packaging because it's too cute. And this is a palette. This is a palette that has gotten a lot of hype this year. So I decided to finally buy my first Glamlight palette because I was like, yup, I'm here. So many people were raving about these colorful shimmers that it has. I can see where people are coming from with this one. I understand why they like it. It's precisely for that reason that I don't. I had not issues with this. I mean, this is one of those palettes where it's pressed pigments, it's boom, goes on, vibrancy. And then you need to blend like crazy. I kind of bought this because it has all these really stunning, or seemingly stunning, shimmers. For me, these shimmers are not intense enough. I used this strawberry shade in a look, and I felt it barely showed up. It didn't look like a shimmer. I actually went in with a brush, then fingers, then wetting it, and then fingers again, and I didn't get the impact I want from a shimmer. I just didn't. This shade blended out very weirdly, and these two shades look very different in the pan, but once I applied them to the eyes, it just looked like the same purple shade. So for me, I was hoping this could be the bright palette of my dreams, and it's not. So for me, I just like a formula that's more buildable, that has more vibrant shimmers. That's what I bought this for, and I feel it didn't live up to it. Again, full review coming with looks and swatches in a few weeks' time. Righty, so now we're gonna select what is going to go in here for the month of January. And I do have to apologize. Normally I would take you through my drawers and show it to you that way. But this month, because I want to go back to favorites, so I've already spent like the past 2 weeks, like the last 2 weeks of December, thinking of what I might want to try. What I want to go back to. So I didn't really have to go to the drawers to decide what I would like to use instead of some of the products that I've now taken out. So let's start with bronzer. So bronzer, I really want to go back to my Makeup Forever bronzer. This is one of my favorites for the winter time. This is looking absolutely beat up. I hope that this is one I can perhaps hit pan on. I don't think I will because it doesn't look like it's got a dent yet, but I'm I'm gonna try, so this is going to be the only bronzer I'm putting in here, so that I can't like forget about the other one that's in here, in case, if you know what I mean. For concealer, another one that I would like to try and use up, simply because it's a concealer I really like, but you can no longer get it, and that is the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer by Too Faced. This is just getting a little bit old, and I feel I need to use it up, so that's why that's gonna go in here when I've used up the Zoeva, and then I have my Glossier Peri Para combo right here to go back to if I want something differently. Eyeshadow primer, as I mentioned, very, very close to running out, so I'm just going to keep that in the back here. And I used up my little The Body Shop eyeshadow, and this was sent to me by a subscriber, so thank you very much for that. This is the Calvin Klein Vanilla Cream Tempting Glance Intense Eyeshadow, and it looks like a shade that might work for me in that way. So just to set my eyeshadow base, and usually that's the only eyeshadow I use up in a year. This is 2.6 grams of product though, so I think this will last longer because my The Body Shop ones were like 1.3, so this gives me twice as much product. So excited to try that. So that's going to go in there. For brows, when that brow pencil runs out, I'm going to be using the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil. Shade, does it say? Dope Taupe. That's what I'm going to use next. So I just like these skinny pencils the best for my brows. Primer, once that is gone, I'm going to be using this, the Hydrating and Skin Refreshing Primer by Essence. This felt like a really nice primer when I tried it in the fall for the first time, but I was just trying other primers before going into this. So this is like a newer product that I can review once the Colourpop Pretty Fresh runs out. So that's gonna hide in the back here. And then we're gonna talk highlighter, because I'm going to keep my NARS in, and I was like, if there's ever going to be a time that I wear Ofra's Pillow Talk, it's going to be now. This is super icy and pink, super light, super cool toned. So now that I'm at my coolest, I'm definitely going to be able to use this. And ooh, you already saw the back there, but I also want to pull in something a little bit more subtle because it is the winter time. So Dandelion Twinkle is always one of my favorites for that. So I'm going to put that in here. I don't think I'll get the use out of that. I definitely think I'll go between the Ofra and the NARS for sure. Again, not too many highlighters in here, just a few, just to have something on hand. And then for blush, I'm keeping in the Balm Beach, but I also want to put in something natural and glowy, and I felt that I need to get the use out of this new Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Blush in Raw Honey. This looked very sheer when it went on. It swatches very intensely, but I think I just need to figure out what brush to use this with. So that's one I want to try out. And then what I want to do, because this is what I sort of mentioned in my blush collection in case you didn't know, but I really like Bittersweet by Urban Decay for the winter time. But I also have this purpley blush from Wet n Wild called In a Purple Haze, and this has a bit of glow. So I thought that it could be pretty. Pillow Talk on the cheek first, and then using Bittersweet, and then lightly buff this over it as a blush topper. I think that's something I want to try out. I've never tried that before, so that's going to go in here. And I felt I had a similar combo in another shade that I love in the winter time, and that's Lace from the Balm, this super bright pink. And then I have this glowy bright pink from Dior. That is quite new to me. So I think this one, like this one I don't feel does enough for me on its own, but I could of course also use it on its own. With this I feel a bit more solid, that it will work on its own for me. So again, something newer to put in here to try out, but I think I will definitely be layering it over this as well, because this is one of my favorite blushes for like January time. I think I've pulled this every year for like ever since I've been doing Shop My Stashes, which I first started doing on my blog in 2017. So I think this is like the 4th time I've selected this or something crazy like that. So, oh well, that's gonna go in here. And then for lipstick, I am gonna go in with the new Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that I bought in the fall time. I haven't really put these on my face yet. I did once to take pictures of, And then I went for a lot of dark shades, and then I put in, where did you go? Velvet Muse, which is one of my favorite nude that I own from her, just to have something nude. But I definitely want to try and get the use out of these new Lisa Eldridge lipsticks before I sit down and film a full review video with them. So I thought that this month I should just try all of these new shades. So let me show you. Oh, this is gonna go great because these are magnetized. Love it. All right. So we've got Velvet Jazz, which is like a dark red. That one was definitely on the wish list. And then we have Velvet Dragon. This is one of the newer ones that she launched this fall. This is like a really like spicy red. And then we have Velvet Decade. This is like a chocolate brown, but it's got a reddish undertone. I wasn't too sure about that one, but I saw like Lisa Eldridge did a tutorial with, I believe, this shade where she sort of wore it in like 3 different ways. So I definitely want to go back to that and figure out how I can best wear that dark brown, because dark brown lipstick and me were not the best of friends. Velvet Carnival, which was also launched this fall. Really nice hot pink. And then we have Velvet Midnight, which is like your silent movie kind of plum shade. Really lovely. I love shades like that in the winter time. And then Velvet Myth, which is more like a deep berry. And we have Velvet Blush, which is like a deeper nude on me. So a little bit more rosy. So those are all gonna go in here. And these magnets are just a little bit messy, so I can't put them in any better than this, I'm afraid. And what I normally don't do, but because we're not going through the drawers, I thought I could show you the eyeshadow palettes that I will be using in this month. And the reason why I'm so solid on these, because usually I don't know at the start of the month what eyeshadow palettes I will be using, but I still have 3 palettes left that I was going to get through in December, and then I didn't for obvious reasons, as already mentioned. So I also bought the Persona Identity 2, because if I bought both of these together, I got free shipping. And what was really lovely is that I wasn't hit with a customs fee on top of it. So I got both of these palettes, didn't have to pay for shipping, didn't have to pay for customs. Yay! This was just not picked up by customs, I think, or maybe it was just not listed on the little form that they attach. So this has more jewel tones. And that's why I haven't really used it yet, but really lovely. If this has the same quality as the Identity 1, I know I'm going to love it, and this gives you just something slightly different. Shroud Cosmetics Arcana. I've done one look with this so far, but I still need to use all the shades. I think, what was the look I went for? I think I used the teal in here and the purple. Like I did a bit of more of like a neutrally look with those shades. Maybe this one too. But I don't believe I've used the greens and the blues yet. And I definitely haven't hit these warm tones yet. So I still need to do like 2 or 3 looks to try every shade. And then Tokyo Harajuku by Nomad. I bought this already over the summertime, and I just didn't get round to it because this palette is making me nervous a little bit. Why? It's got mattes, it's got satins, and then metallic-y kind of duochrome shimmers. And what I've heard a lot of people say is that they really love this row, but that these two just are a bit shaky. So now that I've tried that Beauty Bay Pastels palette, I'm just a bit nervous. So I'm hoping this will be better. A lot of people love this. It's just, it doesn't scream, oh, I want to do this look the minute I look at it. I think that may be why. But I'm going to go and make it work. I'm going to use it for sure. This will be, like, it's 15 pans, so this is going to be like 3-4 different looks. And then, because I already said in my plans for 2021 video that I would not be buying as many eyeshadow palettes this year, I definitely want to limit myself to 2 a month, and that amount is going to roll over into every month, giving me a chance to go back to palettes. So this is new stuff I definitely want to get to, and if I use those up, like I've used those and I want to try other things, I will definitely do that. But there are 2 older palettes that I've already reviewed, and one of these I've loved for years, but I want to use them again. And it's these 2. Urban Decay Naked 3 and Natasha Denona Lila. Naked 3 is one of my favorite palettes to use this time of the year. Not gonna lie. You can see the dip in that shade. You can see the start of a dip in that shade. And I just want to play with this again. So if I want to go for something supernatural on the eye, and I don't want to go for something bold because this is pastels or dark. So this is going to be the neutral eye, so I can wear some of these darker lipsticks. That's how I had thought of it. But I think it will pair quite nicely with the Lila. And the Lila I want to go back to because I tried this. This was the first Natasha Denona palette I tried. And I wasn't a huge fan. But now that I've tried other Natasha Denona palettes, the gold, the glam, that I love and adore, I just want to see if I can fall in love with this now that I understand the formula and the brand a little bit better. This palette is really interesting to me because you go from cooler tones to like these plums into berry warm tones into neutrals. So this palette just does a lot in one go. And I haven't used this in a hot minute, and I actually think, as I mentioned, that some of these Urban Decay shades will give me some of the neutrals I would need to make some of these other shades perhaps work a bit better for me. So I definitely, this is one of the palettes that I've been itching all year to go back to, and I just had so much new stuff to try that I didn't do it. I didn't get round to it. So I wanted to pull it this time, and then if I pull anything in addition to this throughout the month because it's new and I just need to get through to that Black Friday stuff, you guys. So that's why I will update you on that and how I felt about all of these things in my next Shop My Stash for sure. Stay tuned as well because I will of course be doing a get ready with me towards the end of the month where I use some of this stuff. So if you'd like to see some of this stuff on, leave your requests in the description box, in the comments below, so that I know what you would like to see me focus on. But yeah, this is my Shop My Stash for the month of January of 2021. New Year's resolution is to do my nails more often, so that's why you're seeing me wearing this lovely purple nail polish. It's OPI's Purple with a Purpose. So I hope I can keep that train rolling as well. And yeah, that's it for me for this video. So please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week, so I've got lots more content coming your way. I hope you'd like to stay tuned, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye!